roadmaps for years, all to tackle climate.
The entrance is at the very bottom. I'm still considering if I should go in, guys.
Oh, what is that?
Right now, something is being quietly suppressed that the world was never supposed to see this soon. 3 weeks ago, an excavation team working beneath the Temple Mount in Jerusalem broke through a sealed limestone wall and entered a chamber that had not been touched by human hands in nearly 3,000 years. What they found inside stopped every person in that room completely silent. A rectangular structure covered in gold. 2 figures facing each other on its lid with wings outstretched. Rings on the sides. Carrying poles still in place. The dimensions match the description in Exodus 25 down to the centimeter. Within 48 hours, the site was sealed, access was restricted, and the team was placed under a confidentiality agreement. The footage that leaked lasted 11 minutes on the internet before it was removed from every major platform simultaneously. And the researcher who first confirmed the find has not given a public statement since. Each of these details has a possible explanation. Confidentiality agreements are standard in sensitive archaeological work. Restricted access protects unstable sites. Content is removed from platforms for dozens of reasons every day. But when all of these things happen within 48 hours of a single discovery, in a location that 3 major world religions consider the most sacred ground on Earth, the pattern stops feeling administrative. It starts feeling intentional. If this message is reaching you, take a moment to like this video and subscribe, because what we are about to walk through is the single most prophetically significant discovery in 2,000 years of recorded history, and most people will never hear about it through any mainstream channel. The Ark of the Covenant has not simply been missing. It has been the most searched for, most written about, most debated sacred object in all of human history. Entire governments have funded its search. Some of the most respected archaeologists of the last century quietly devoted years of their careers to locating it. And yet it never surfaced. Not because people stopped looking, but because, according to ancient tradition, it was never lost. It was hidden. The second book of Maccabees records that the prophet Jeremiah, warned of the Babylonian invasion, removed the ark from the temple and concealed it in a cave, sealing the entrance and declaring that the place would remain unknown until God gathered his people again. That statement was not a lament. It was a promise attached to a condition. The hiding was intentional. The timing of the revealing was not left to chance or archaeology. It was tied to a moment. And that is what makes the current discovery so difficult to process calmly. Because the condition Jeremiah described, the gathering of God's people, has been unfolding in measurable, documented, geopolitical reality since 1948. The nation of Israel exists again. The Temple Institute has prepared over 70 sacred vessels to exact biblical specification. 5 red heifers, required for ritual purification before temple service can resume, arrived from Texas and were declared ritually perfect. The priests are rehearsed. The vessels are ready. And now, beneath the very ground where the Holy of Holies once stood, instruments have detected a sealed chamber with a dense metallic signature too structured and too precisely positioned to be natural stone. The sequence is no longer theoretical. It is physical. And the question that cannot be avoided is this. If everything required before the ark could be revealed has quietly fallen into place, and if the chamber beneath the Temple Mount contains what the leaked footage appears to show, then we are not watching a historical discovery. We are watching the opening of something that was sealed specifically for this moment. The footage, though brief, captured details that researchers who reviewed it could not dismiss. The surface of the object showed no oxidation consistent with simple aging in an enclosed space. The gold appeared intact, not corroded, not flaking, not dulled by millennia of sealed air. Metallurgists who examined still images from the footage noted that the alloy appeared consistent with techniques that modern foundries struggle to replicate, a composition requiring temperatures and methods that have no known equivalent in ancient Egyptian or Mesopotamian metalworking. This is not a replica. It is not a ceremonial imitation. The construction reflects a level of precision that, according to the researchers present, should not have been possible at the time it was made. And then there is the radiation. Equipment brought into the chamber to document the find recorded energy anomalies in the immediate surrounding space. Not harmful levels. Not explosive. but irregular bursts of ionizing particles in a pattern that no geological process or decaying organic material produces. The instruments detected something that behaved less like a physical object sitting inert in a sealed room and more like something that had never stopped functioning. In the Book of Numbers, the ark was not carried by hand. It was carried on poles by consecrated priests who had undergone specific ritual preparation, and anyone who touched it without that preparation did not survive the contact. The object was never described as a container alone. It was described as a throne, a meeting point, the place where the presence of God rested between the cherubim. What the instruments detected inside that chamber may be the first modern, measurable evidence that the presence described in Scripture is not metaphorical. It is physical. It is real. And it has been waiting, sealed beneath the most contested piece of ground on the planet, for the moment when the world would finally be ready to reckon with what it means. That moment, based on everything unfolding right now, may no longer be years away. It may already be here. And if the ark has been found, if the chamber is real, if the footage exists and was suppressed within 2 days of its emergence, then one question towers above every other question being asked anywhere in the world right now. What happens next? Because in Scripture, the ark was never simply a religious artifact. It was the signal. When it moved, nations responded. When it was present, battles turned. When it was absent, the glory departed. And when it returns, according to the prophets, it will not return quietly. It will return as the centerpiece of a restoration that changes the entire structure of human history. The second coming of Jesus Christ, the rebuilding of the temple, the final gathering of Israel, and the establishment of a kingdom that does not end are all connected in Scripture to the thread that runs through that gold-covered chest sitting right now in a sealed chamber beneath Jerusalem, while the people who found it are being told to say nothing. Like this video if this matters to you. Subscribe so you do not miss what comes next. Share it with someone who needs to understand what is unfolding. Because the suppression of this discovery is not the end of the story. In Scripture, nothing hidden stays hidden forever. The stones cry out. The ground gives up what it holds. And when the appointed time arrives, no confidentiality agreement, no platform removal, and no government restriction has ever been able to stop what God has already decided the world will see.